Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable to Mr. Muhammad Ramanan as our lecturer and to all my beloved friends. Hello, I am Nevita Ramai Tushara. Today I would like to present my material about genital surgery in Islam with agrees views. So, please keep on watching. So, there are three main points that we will discuss in this topic. The first is about the concept of genital surgery, and then the types of genital surgery, and the last is the genital surgery in Islamic law. Okay, without any further ado, let's start the explanation. Okay, the first is the concept of the genital surgery. The advancement of the sciences and technology today has given many benefits to human life. This achievement is a challenge to Islamic scientists and mujtahid who should see this phenomenon with full sensitivity and sense of responsibility. Today's scholars need to appear to answer various problems that arise in society. For the example is problem of genital surgery. Genital surgery is an advancement of science and technology, especially in the field of medicine. Genital surgery that allows men to become women or vice versa is still difficult to accept in society. Not only complicated, this surgery also has a high health risk. Genital surgery is a surgical procedure on someone who experiences differences between gender and behavior. This genital surgery is known as sex reassignment surgery or transsexual. Sex reassignment surgery is surgical operation to change gender from male to female or vice versa. However, in fact, genital surgery can also be performed on people who have multiple genitals since birth. This kind of surgery can also be called a genital enhancement surgery. This genital enhancement surgery is carried out by doctors on the less than perfect genital organs. The surgery is done not to change the male sex to female or vice versa, but to perfect the internal sex organ to match the external sex organ or perfect one of the two dominant sexes. So, along with the advancement of science and technology, various solutions have been found for this problem, and the most real solution is surgery to repair and enhance the genitals. Okay, move to the next point, genital surgery. In the medical world, there are three forms of genital surgery. The first is sex reassignment surgery, that is performed on people who were born with a normal sex. Doctors say that it is a form of transsexual or transgender disease, namely individuals with male psychological disorder who are like women or women like men without physical or genital disorder. Or in other terms, that the sufferer or patient feels that he is another kind that is not himself. And the second, genital repair or enhancement surgery, performed on people who from birth have genital defect, such as a testicle, penis, or vagina that is not perforated. For women whose vagina doesn't have an opening but has a uterus and ovary, surgery is performed to make an opening in the vagina. As for men who have a penis and testicle, but the penis opening is not at the tip of the penis, but is under it, surgery is performed so that the hole is in normal place. Okay, and the third, surgical removal of one of the multiple genitals that is performed on a person who from birth has two genitals, penis and vagina. This surgery is carried out to clarify gender identity by turning off one genital organ and turning on the other genital organ that match the internal genital organ. Alright, the last point, the genital surgery in Islamic law. We need to know that sex reassignment surgery is clearly prohibited and it is illegal. This is in accordance with the word of Allah in Quran Surah An-Nisa, verse 119, that our friend Mbak Rashida will explain more detail. Then, what about the genital repair or enhancement surgery? What is the law in Islam? Well, in Islam, it is legal to carry out genital repair or enhancement surgery. This permission is based on the verse Al-Quran. In Al-Quran, there is no verses that directly stated about the permissible of genital enhancement or repair surgery. But according to fiqh scholars whom agreed about enhancement of genital for a unsa whose genital function is more dominant or vice versa, through surgery to perfect the genital is as mentioned in Quran Surah Al-Maidah verse 2. That has meaning and help you in doing right truth and pity, and do not help in sin and transgression, and fear Allah. Verily Allah is severe in punishment. And then the second dalil is hadith. Genital repair surgery or genital organ enhancement is recommended because it is form of treatment endeavor to overcome the disease in him. As stated in the following hadith, which has meaning from Usama bin Shari, he said, the Badui Arab said, O Messenger of Allah, don't we have to seek treatment if sick? He replied, yes, O servant of Allah, seek treatment. Indeed, Allah didn't create a disease, but also created a cure for it, except for one disease. They asked, what disease is that, O Messenger of Allah? He replied, that is a disease. Hadith riwayat Ahmad. Based on this hadith, people who experience problems in their genital organs are recommended or ordered to make repairs or enhancement so that they function properly and do not have a more fatal impact, both physically and psychologically. Okay, the third dalil is from Ijma. Based on the Fatwa MUI number 3 Munas 8 2010, decided that first, perfecting the genital for a unsa whose male genitals function is more dominant or vice versa through surgery to perfect the genitals is legal. And second, it is legal to assist in the improvement of the genitals as referred in point 1. And then the third, the implementation of the genital enhancement surgery as referred to in point 1 must be based on medical consideration, not only psychological consideration. And then the fourth, determination of the legitimacy of gender status as a result of the genital enhancement surgery as referred to point first is permitted, so that it has sharia legal implication regarding the refinement. And the last, the legal position of the sex of the person who has carried out the genital enhancement surgery as referred to first point is accordant with the gender. Alright, the next dalil is from qiyas. Qiyas, according to the term of usul fiqh, is judging a case against another case in syara law because of the similarity of ilat between the two. In the problem of genital repair or enhancement surgery, there is no law in the Nas, Al-Quran and Hadith because this is a new case. Instead, there is fiqh rules for the permissibility of genital repair or enhancement surgery. That is to seek the benefit and eliminate the harm. The application of this rule is that effort to avoid the harm that will be caused by sexual abnormalities are better than seeking a benefit, because avoiding or rejecting danger is also a benefit. If performing an operation to improve genital organ provides greater benefit and prevents harm, then Islam doesn't only allow it but also recommends it. And the last is opinion of scholars. According to Hasan and Muhammad Makhluf, the law for genital surgery, that is taslih or takmil, repair or enhancement, is legally permissible, even recommended. If a person's genital do not have an opening or for urination, either penis or vagina, then surgery is needed to repair so that it becomes normal sex. Then Masfuk Zuhdi stated that people born with abnormal genitals can experience psychological and social disorder, so that they are usually excluded from normal community life and find their own way, such as prostitution, becoming a transgender, or committing homosexuality, while in Islam it is prohibited. So, it is permissible to carry out repair surgery or genital enhancement to avoid damage and achieve muslahat. And the last, according to Yusuf Qaradawi, sometimes a man's body structure is found in a woman, such as hidden male organ. So, it is permissible for the woman to perform genital surgery to become a man. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.